You're watching American Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin. And you know, there is a phrase out there that says, any publicity is good publicity. And I used to agree with that, and I just don't know if that's true anymore with cancel culture and everything going on out there. So I brought my friend, Brittanie Clement Price. I almost messed that up. Clement Price, PR guru, owner of Be Seen PR, founder of Be Seen PR. So happy that you're here to join us today. Tell us everything about PR. No, what do you think about that? No, actually, I want to hear first about you, and then I want to get into that notion of good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, because I just don't know in this day and age if that's true. But first, I want to hear about you and how you got started in this world.
Oh, Mary, thank you so much for having me today. It's such an honor and a treat.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah. About me. So, yeah, I started Be Seen Public Relations in 2017.
I love the name, by the way, Be Seen, B-C-E-N-E, because it's just a clever name and a play on words. I love it. So anyway, Be Seen, yeah.
Be Seen, yes. We started it in 2017. I started it on my couch in my pajamas.
I love that.
That's true. I built my website on my couch.
Were you back in D.C. at the time?
I was.
Yeah,
I was back in on the East Coast, and yeah, true story. I actually came from like big agency world, big advertising world. I had the privilege of working on brands such as Sassoon Salon and Girl Scout cookies and Mrs. Fields. And really for me, I just wanted something a little bit smaller, a little bit more high touch. And so
did you get free cookies going back to
the samples were insane.
I'm thinking I could never have worked
The office is always stocked. We're always shooting them. It was amazing. It was the best job ever.
Yeah.
Like the perks, unreal.
Yeah. But then, then you're like, I want to get into a smaller thing and also probably work for yourself, because there's so much there that we want to work for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. The flexibility is unparalleled. And so, yeah, when I started it, it was really just a passion project. I had little in savings because, you know, that's what we do. And yeah, from a lot of encouragement from my, then boyfriend, now husband, he was like, why don't you just try it for a year, see if you like it. If not, you can return back to the agency. And so fast forward 5 years later, we're now an award-winning bi-coastal team with several billion-dollar brands. I can't believe that's like coming out of my mouth.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What did you study in college?
I actually studied public relations and communications. I'm like one of those anomalies. I thought I was going to be, a surgeon, and then got into comms and was like, yes, this is my calling for sure.
So you went from surgery to this, yeah.
It was a Grey's Anatomy
medical
time.
classes and say, or
yeah, like
pre-med?
Chem, and I was like, absolutely not. No, thank you. I will do marketing.
Yeah,
always.
This is more your jam.
Yeah.
And so how long were you at the big agency?
Yeah, so I was at big agency world for about 7 years before I actually started my own company.
And did you have, when you were thinking in your couch in your pajamas, were you thinking, okay, did you go on to Wix and one of the easy do-it-yourself websites, or did you already have knowledge as to how to build a website and do all that stuff yourself?
Yeah, so I'm one of those people that just Google everything and I'll figure it out. So I built it on Squarespace, and really, actually, most of my traffic has come from Instagram. So I know you know social media quite well.
Yes, you have an awesome Instagram feed. I definitely, I check that out. It's the first thing I check out is someone's website and their Instagram feed, and it looks so good, and it's so aesthetically pleasing, and I really, it's really great. So in 2017, I mean, that was like a lot of people, I think, were probably transitioning and going into that notion that I want to work for myself, and you can. It started to become pretty easy. Squarespace and WordPress make it so easy to start your own website.
Yeah.
And then Instagram, you can do your own marketing yourself if you're good at it.
Yeah.
And your generation, I think, is really good at it.
I don't know. Gen Z is giving us a run for our money right now, so we'll see.
Are you a millennial? Are you
definitely a millennial?
Are you?
I actually just did. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about that when people diss millennials?
You know what? I just own it. I'm a proud millennial. I just actually did an Instagram story about straight leg pants are now a thing.
Yes, you can't wear pegged pants, but these are also flares.
Yes.
I've been told by my kids I have to wear flares.
Flares are in, but they will tell you what types of jeans we should be wearing. Apparently straight legs are not chuggy. That's the new
Oh yes,
term.
I heard that term, yes.
Yeah, so I'm gotta stay up on the
You're embracing the millennialism.
100%.
And well, there's just a lot of people that criticize millennials for maybe not working as hard and being, prima donnas about the space. But you have built a company, so you have worked really hard.
Yeah.
Because isn't that the thing? You're working all day, all the time.
Yeah.
You're building your own company.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure we'll talk about this later. But, what I find is that Yes, because I am the founder, I will work all the time, right? But I don't expect that of my team. You know, when you own it and you build it, it's really yours. It's your baby. And so like finding those like white spaces in the day between mothering and parenting.
You're a new mom.
I'm a new mom.
How old's your son, right?
Daughter, Amelia.
Daughter. Oh, gosh.
She kind of looks like a boy, so it's okay.
Everyone thought my kids were boys when they were little. My daughters,
Yeah, she got the bald head going. She's doing great.
Yeah.
She's 8 months old now.
Mila, oh my gosh. You need to bring her in.
I will.
Next time.
Next
All right.
time we'll be here.
Well, so when you're talking about your employees, when did you grow from being just you to actually having employees too?
Yeah, actually last year. Big move. Hiring your first is always the scariest. It's always like the biggest, lift in terms of time and onboarding.
Yeah.
But I hired my first last year, and then fortunately we've grown so much over the last year. I was able to hire 2 additional employees, and now we're hiring another. So if you're out there
growing during COVID. I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Because so many industries have shut down during COVID, and event space and music space and all these spaces that are hurting so much. But the businesses that are thriving, they need good PR right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's such a place where you don't want to cut back, right?
Exactly.
Wouldn't you tell that to a business starting a new business or a young entrepreneur that's starting to save some money away for good PR and good marketing,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. As a remote business, we did not need to pivot or shut anything down, which was amazing because I know so many industries were hurting between hospitality and hotel and restaurant. And so we always worked from home. We'll never not work from home, which is amazing. But yeah, what we were finding is what I wasn't prepared for was the avalanche of crisis communications work that needed to come through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Majorly. I mean, that was a huge thing. Yeah. And it still probably is right now because everything is polarizing. And do you require masks? Do you require vaccination cards? How is everyone landing on these hot button topics? So tell me about that. What is that like to navigate?
I will say we are definitely in a place of nobody has done a pandemic before. There's no Google article for how to communicate through a pandemic. Right? And
although that's a good one to write.
We should be writing
You'll get top of SEO
Noted to
if
self.
you get that.
Yeah. But what there is we get back to the basics, right? We get back to fundamentals. And what does that look like for us? It's leading with empathy in all of our communications, right? It's being clear, it's being concise, it's being consistent, and then obviously leading with that heart and soul that every company is founded on. They all have missions and values, so staying true to those values when you're in the midst of a pandemic.
Well, you say they all, so I would like to talk about that because I don't know if all businesses have a mission and values. Maybe they do, but what if it is not in line with you? Is that something that you look at when you think about wanting to take clients on? Do you look at their mission and values and say, is this in line with who I am as a person, who our company is?
Yep.
Do you turn people down, I guess is my question?
That's such a good question. You're going in with the hard stuff. This is good. I like it. So a couple things. One is that 95% of our business is word of mouth and referral. We do not advertise. We take on an exclusive set of clients based on those mission and values that we align to. So I will say that in the height of summer of 2020, there were a few clients that we did decide to let go of just because we weren't aligning on what our values were as a company at that time and what the brand mission and values were of their company. And so, it's like any relationship. Sometimes it's a good fit and sometimes it's not, and that's totally okay. We learn more from the misses than we do from the wins. So, in that experience, I'm grateful.
I thought you were going to say the misses versus the misters.
Yes, always the misses.
Always the misses. It's always the misses.
Yes.
The misses is the wins. That's a really good point. I mean, it's true. You learn a lot from that. And do you ever, so you're getting down the path with somebody and you do a big discovery call maybe, and then on the discovery call you think, oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I like what I'm hearing here.
Sounds like you've done this before, no?
I've done a few discovery calls, yes. In fact, you and I talked about them years ago.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for a long time. So I'm so happy that we're connecting in this way. But so what about the COVID, message, getting in line with who you are and having empathy? What does that look like? Do you have to be proactive and you suggest putting your message out on your Instagram feed, for example, or putting a press release out? Or what do you tell people in that way?
Yeah, I'll give a really great example we bumped up against recently. We represent a couple real estate brands, property management, multifamily. So think of like communities, apartment communities. And what we found in 2020 at the height of the pandemic is that many of the apartment owners, their residents were not able to make their rent, right? It became between paying their rent, putting food on the table, or keeping the lights on, right? And so in that instance, we really had to, one, help make some organizational changes within that apartment management community. And then two, how do we communicate that, hey, we hear you. This is a hard time. It is unprecedented. I hate to say that, but it was. What are programs and assistance we can put in place for them? And then how do we continue to repeat that messaging to not only the consumers, the residents, but actually potential residents?
Yeah, that's a tough one, really tough one. And that hit home for a lot of people, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we have to take a quick break, but I want to come back right after this and talk about that question I posed at the beginning. Is all publicity good publicity?
Yeah.
I don't know. Cancel culture has its claws out for everybody. Everyone at home, stick around. We'll be right back with Brittanie Clement Price. You're watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin. I'm with my friend Brittanie Clement Price from Be Seen PR. We're talking about all things public relations and publicity, and this concept that all publicity is good publicity. So that used to be kind of the concept that even if somebody's kind of in trouble or they do something kind of bad, it's okay because they're out there in the limelight and they're getting seen and somebody's gonna not care maybe or something. At least their name's being said, right? Is the concept. But in this day and age with cancel culture is such a big thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, what do you think about that with your clients?
Yeah. Oh, with our clients. Oh.
I mean, start there specifically.
Well, one is I hope we've done a good enough job of vetting and really understanding that our values align with the brands that we're taking on. But two, I will say it's an interesting phenomenon. I actually expected this to come on sooner rather than later because of the dawn of social media and what that brings up for people. I think everything that we are putting out there now is going to be cataloged. And whether that's a tweet from 2012 to a Facebook photo from college, I think we should be prepared for anything and everything. And now these companies actually own our information, so we're not even really privy to it. But yeah, as it relates to our brands, I would say be prepared for anything. A good, solid crisis communication plan goes a long way, especially knowing from 2020 what that brings.
Yeah, and so would you say, I've talked to some other PR folks as well, and one of the things I'm hearing always is respond thoughtfully and kind of quickly / swiftly, not too quickly that you don't plan it,
right? But
come out with something. Don't hide it or run away from it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely not. I mean, the worst thing you can do is try and bury it. There's enough investigative reporters or online sleuths that we know of that will dig it up. And so the last thing you want to do is come out not only having done harm, but then trying to bury it at the end of the day. It's just a double no-no for us.
Right. And so have you had a client come to you and say, eeks, we're having a major calamitous situation here, help.
Yeah, absolutely.
SOS. So what do you do at that point?
Yeah, with that we, one is we try and get all the information, right? And firsthand information from, the folks on the ground, like what actually happened in this situation rather than hearing from the executive team. Then we put together what's called a holding statement, right? Here's the information that we have on hand. We're really looking further into this. And we've dealt with everything from like acts of God to terrorism to fires to scandals. So really having a solid holding
statement. Can you tell us the scandal?
No, I can't.
Dang. I always try. I always want to get some dirt.
Oh, we get off air.
But so, and so what's the holding statement? Where does that go?
Yeah, holding statement is something that you create and you give it to reporters as they're starting to ask questions. It's something you can actually put on your website or on social media. It's really just a blanket statement of like, hey, we're investigating this. We are aware of the problem and we're looking into it. We'll report back with more information at a certain spot.
I think those are so important to come out with right away.
Yep.
And to say, we know this is going on, acknowledge that there's a problem. And we're gathering information. Stay tuned, but pretending like you're just going dark for a long time is not helping the situation at this point in where we are in life. When everybody expects answers
Yep.
and at least a response, right? Okay, I want to segue a little bit into TikTok because speaking of millennial, you being a millennial, you are very good at TikTok, and I've been seeing your TikToks, and number one, I want to talk about the TikToks that you do,
Yes.
and then I want to talk about if you think your client should be on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, everyone should be on TikTok. No?
I don't know. I think we started an American Trends TikTok account and haven't done anything. It's just not my jam. My kids, I know, we need you to do some. But so tell me about some of yours. Did you start during the pandemic?
I did, absolutely. I was like one of those like bajillion people that got on the TikTok bandwagon once the pandemic started, and I have not gotten off. I have no plans of getting off. But it's one of the most democratic social media platforms out there. I highly recommend it from any new brand that's starting or anybody that's just interested in social media. What I'm finding with most of the social media platforms is a few specific influencers or celebs are always, encouraged to post, and then their content obviously rises to the top of the algorithm. Whereas TikTok, it's very democratic. You get tons of different content.
Yeah.
Granted, the backstory of the ownership company is a little sketch.
It is a little sketch. I wonder how long it's going to be around. I know it's been talked about that it's going to go away, and I don't know. It is a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But it is a very fun platform. Lots of people, like you said, democratic, and anyone could really go viral on that platform.
Absolutely.
And so I want to see a couple of yours. Okay. Can we show a couple of Brittany's TikTok videos? I think you have one.
Oh.
I love it. Brands before PR, that's a big trend.
Right.
So you kind of have to be on trend within TikTok, because that thing that you just showed with the switching of, being kind of shabby in your pajamas and then switching into your va-va-va-boom outfit, that was a thing on TikTok. People were doing that,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So that was the trend.
That was
I don't
the
know
trend.
if that had a name. Did that have a name?
Bippity boppity boo. Okay. Maybe you could Google that. I don't know. How does one find trends?
Because there's the song too. Did everyone utilize that song?
Yes.
Okay.
So you want to utilize a particular trend and speak into that trend from your particular niche. So as marketers, we would say, okay, this is this trend, and how can we speak into that as a marketer? What are those interesting contextual things we can put into it? And then obviously the audio is huge. People are blowing up on TikTok as a result of audio.
Yeah, because you can search audio trends, right? And you can follow those. You don't just follow hashtags, you can follow the audio as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's clever. Let's see one more. What people think I am, I think. Is that one? Or the brand? Oh. Can you get us here? Does everyone ask you that?
Yeah. They want to get on Oprah.
How many people ask you to get on Oprah? I don't even know if that's popular anymore.
Oprah used to be popular. Now it's New York Times. I want to get on Wall Street Journal.
Or the Today Show.
Today
or on
Show.
America Trends.
Yes, America Trends. They always want to get on America Trends. And Good Morning America. Always.
Yes.
Always.
America Trends or Good Morning America.
100%.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can get them here because you have my cell phone number.
We got you. I'll text you.
Okay. Well, so last bit of advice for everyone would be on maybe start TikTok.
Yes.
And get a PR relations manager.
Yes.
ASAP.
Absolutely. First to get a solid social media presence going, and then start building that brand awareness, that consistent drumbeat of coverage for yourself.
Drumbeat of coverage. I love that phrase.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Okay, where can everyone find you?
Find me on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly, on TikTok. On
Be Seen Instagram.
Be Seen Instagram and Be Seen PR on TikTok as well?
Absolutely, that's us.
Okay, great. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you, yeah.
And there you are. What people think I want you to get me on Oprah, even though she's not popular anymore.
I got you. I got you.
Everyone at home, come back. We're here every night, Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. biztv.com/America Trends. America Trends TV on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and maybe one of these days we'll do a TikTok. I need to come up with a good idea for that.